In one of the darkest periods of human history, when fear ruled nations and silence filled the streets, a young girl picked up a pen. She had no weapons, she had no power, but she had words. This is the story of Anne Frank, and the diary that became a voice for millions who were never heard. Anne Frank was born on June 12, 1929, in Frankfurt, Germany. She was bright, curious, and full of life. A normal child growing up in a loving Jewish family. But everything changed when Adolf Hitler and the Nazi regime rose to power. Jewish families were stripped of their rights and forced to live in fear. To protect their daughters, Anne's parents moved the family to Amsterdam, hoping to escape the growing darkness. For a brief moment, life felt safe again. In 1940, Nazi Germany invaded the Netherlands. Slowly, harsh rules took over daily life. Jews were forced to wear the yellow Star of David. They were banned from schools, parks, and public spaces. Freedom disappeared, step by step. On her 13th birthday, Anne received a simple gift, a diary. She named it Kitty. At the time, she never imagined that this diary would one day speak to the entire world. In July 1942, Anne's sister Margot was ordered to report to a Nazi labor camp. The family knew what that meant. That same day, they vanished. Hidden behind Anne's father's office, behind a movable bookshelf, was a small concealed space known as the secret annex. 8 people lived there in silence. For 2 long years, they hid, afraid to speak, afraid to move, afraid to be discovered. Inside the secret annex, Anne wrote about everything. Her fears, her frustrations, her dreams, her loneliness, her first feelings of love. She wrote not just about hiding, but about growing up. In one of her most famous lines, Anne wrote, "In spite of everything, I still believe that people are really good at heart." Her diary was more than a record of war. It was the honest voice of a teenage girl trying to understand the world. On August 4th, 1944, the silence was broken. The secret annex was discovered. Nazi officers stormed the hiding place. Anne, her family, and the others were arrested. They were sent to concentration camps. Anne and her sister Margot were later transferred to Bergen-Belsen. Cold, hunger, disease. In early 1945, just weeks before the camp was liberated, both sisters died. Anne Frank was only 15 years old. Only one person from the secret annex survived the war. Anne's father, Otto Frank. After returning to Amsterdam, he was given Anne's diary, saved by Miep Gies, one of the helpers who risked her life to protect them. When Otto read the pages, he discovered a side of his daughter he had never fully known. In 1947, the diary of a young girl was published. It has since been translated into more than 70 languages, read by millions around the world. Anne Frank was not a soldier. She was not a leader. She was a child with a pen. Her diary reminds us of the cost of hatred, the innocence lost to war, and the power of words. Anne once dreamed of becoming a writer. She did. Her voice survived when millions were silenced. And as long as her diary is read, Anne Frank will never be forgotten.